Did he go to jail? I think he's going to. Diddy's going to jail. Life is changing.
Diddy's going to prison. He's been in jail.
Yeah, he's been in jail. Although prison at this time, a lot of times county's much worse than the feds or wherever he's going to end up. Rikers. Isn't he at Rikers?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's where he'll be going back. He and Harvey Weinstein, he's still there. You got the Sam Bankman-Fried. They could all hang out together, talk about crypto and their dating lives. So this will be interesting to see. I said 6 years earlier. That was what's your over-under?
Well, I originally thought he was going to get time served.
That's
but after reading some of the comments that the judge supposedly made, I think we're looking at 6 to 9.
Yeah, the judge basically walked in. He goes, "You better get comfortable. It's going to be a long day and a long decade.
Enjoy these last few hours in a suit."
Say hi to your kids. I've said it earlier. I don't think he should. He would never been even tried for this had it not been the other stuff. So, alas, here we go, kids. Alas, here we go. So much stuff to get to. Oh, my Lord. We're going to war with the Venezuela. Let's be real. That's what we're doing. We're not going to war for drugs. So everybody settle down. But they don't. Venezuela does nothing drug-wise comparatively to anybody else. If we were really serious about it, we would head down and take on the Sinaloa.
We'd be invading Mexico.
Yeah, Sinaloa cartel, the Gulf cartel, what's left of Los Zetas and Jalisco New Generation. This is all about oil, kids. That's what this is all about. There's a lot of money out there that was donated to the party, and they would like to see some regime change, and we know how good we are on that. The Caribbean, that's the most dangerous place. It's fantastic, though. We're going to make it safe. It's going to be great.
Remember when we went down and kicked Grenada's ass?
Yeah. Remember that? God, you remember that? We had Nicaragua and Grenada. Who else have we taken on? What other mighty forces? Our footprints all over South America and whatnot. I mean, we have been everywhere and then some. We've had several regime change. We're really good at the first part of regime change, getting rid of the person. It's the second part. We'd never stick the landing, right? We're like, oh, she stumbled. That's going to cost her. So this will be interesting to see what happens. Was just texting with a couple of my military sources, and they were like, yeah, I'm surprised that people aren't talking about this. Because you're the only one who ever really brings up the fact that it's about oil. I'm like, well, I'm not an idiot. They've got the world's largest known oil reserve next to one of the largest light sweet crude reserves on the planet. And
they do have sideways drilling technology now. You just go into Venezuela and then you steal the oil from them.
Venezuela, well, Guyana wants us to protect them. That's part of the deal. But Venezuela, they've had a land dispute since we're talking the 1800s. And there was an arbitration hearing in like 1899. The fact that I know this crap is just bizarre. But Venezuela didn't care about the land up until 2017-18 when they found this massive pocket of light sweet crude along the coast out into the ocean. Then Venezuela's like, oh, we should go take our land back. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Again, if you're serious, and I got no love lost for the cartels, but if you're going to get serious, the cartels that matter are the ones. 90% of fentanyl comes through the southern border. 90%. You might get some coming through the northern border now, but nothing comes from Venezuela. Very little cocaine.
Well, wait a minute. If we got fentanyl coming through the northern border and Canada has oil, doesn't that mean we need to invade them too?
That's right. I keep telling everybody, Palestine, you want America to care about you? You better find oil. Go get some and spill it everywhere. America would be like, what's going on over there? They found oil. Well, you better stop this. So this will be an interesting situation. I was just very excited about, I come in this today and Bell goes, all my feeds have been nothing but Taylor Swift.
Well, I didn't say it like that.
You did.
I didn't.
You said everything's been Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it went from all politics to it's all TS, and I was actually enjoying it last night.
You know what? I listened to most of the album. Do you listen to any of it, Ken?
I have not. I've been listening to Waylon Jennings.
Oh, that's
boys.
right.
Get with the times, mister.
What did you say the Waylon Jennings song today? I said I came in, I gave you, I go, oh, I got a peanut butter cup for you. He goes, dude, that's one of the songs Waylon Jennings has. I got a peanut butter cup for you.
I was just joking.
And I told you I got those good Oreo peanut butter cups back.
Dangerous.
Those are dangerous.
Sacrilegious is what they are.
Sacrilegious. I listened to most of, it's like several songs. There was a few bits, like you said. One of them was really funny. But the Ophelia seems to be one of the big ones.
That's the single.
That's the
Basically,
single?
That's the emphasis track.
And then what was the one that with her and Carpenter? That's the title cut.
Yeah, I think that's the title track.
Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good. You know what it is? She knows what exactly it is that she does. She does. She rinses, repeats. That's it.
She's to the point. She's like Kenny Rogers now.
Yeah.
She and George Strait, any great artist, she could do a children's book of songs and would sell millions of copies.
Yes.
She could do anything.
And Father Figure, I listened to that one because they went to George Michael and them to ask if they could use Father Figure and mix it in there. And they were
really?
like so excited because they're like, more money. No, that's great. That honors him.
Exactly what they were excited about. This is going to be his biggest payday in a while since he died.
Yeah, yeah.
Shame that he's not with us anymore.
It is.
Shame.
It is. Shame! He still gets that good Christmas money, though, man. He gets
and he
that Mariah
died on Christmas.
He gets that Mariah Carey Christmas money. Not quite, but we're getting there. We're getting there with that Mariah Carey Christmas money. I'm waiting for her when she does her thing where they'll start playing the song and then she pops up. She's like, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. My buddy worked on a Hallmark movie that she was on. It was I don't know if it was a Hallmark. It was like one of those kind of Hallmarky movies.
Right.
I go, how was she? He goes, everything that you think she is, that's it. 4 hours late. You're getting one take. That's it.
What is she, Frank Sinatra?
I know. She's, oh, goodness me, crazy. Oh, they're still shut down? The government? Oh, I didn't know that.
Rats.
Good God. Did I hear you say that it's $12 for a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts, and that's a special?
Me?
Yeah, that was on the news.
That must have been Jim Ryan.
Oh, Jim.
$1 a donut.
But that's the special. So what's a normal dozen cost? It's like we talked about yesterday with your Canadian Dry or whatever you're having.
$1.25 a donut.
As ginger ale.
Your ginger ale.
12-pack for nearly $9. Actually, it was $9.
That is, have I ever had ginger ale? I think I had it once. I think that was enough.
Yeah, I wasn't going to buy it. I just looked at it and thought, that's ridiculous.
It's understandable. Oh, Chris says, thanks to Taylor Swift, I have an extra 40 stops because of her album. I'm not very happy. I take it you deliver things.
He's Amazon.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. A lot of people getting the record.
Yeah.
Well, she has a giant chunk of her sales come from vinyl.
Wow. I didn't know that.
And you know what she does and other artists do that's genius? They sell the same set of songs on vinyl, but only the vinyl has a different pattern on it.
Oh, yes.
Or it's a different color.
Yeah, different color. Or like a Target that's got a special poster in it, and it's a special color.
Yes.
Do you remember
Brilliant.
back in the 80s when they came out with the albums that had the I Got Quiet Riot, and it was the album cover, but it came in a clear thing, but the album cover was on the record.
Picture discs.
Picture disc. Is that what they were?
Yeah.
I didn't know. And I had that, and I had Puff the Magic Dragon and Devo. So
they used to do laser etching on it. Like if you bought Styx Paradise Theater, it was actually the logo was etched into the vinyl by a laser.
Oh, that's cool. You're wearing Styx today, I see.
Yes.
How about
from the
that?
Mr. Roboto tour.
Tomo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Krispy Kremes, $19 a dozen.
What?
Wow. $19 a dozen.
That's kooky talk.
You're joshing.
You're just pulling my leg, Chad.
There's no way. $19 a dozen. Oh, talk about donut cartels. We're fighting the wrong cartel. Cartels. So funny.
We'll be fighting them next.
Everybody's like, do you really know they're going to take over Venezuela? I'm like, yeah, I think it's like they're not denying anything. He already invoked some War Powers Act. They've got plans drawn up. I mean, it's pretty, they're talking about taking the ports and the airports, and there's a $50 million bounty on dude's head.
Well, in fairness, they make such a big deal out of war plans. There are war plans for every country on the earth.
Yeah.
We have a war plan in the books to go into Canada, and that will probably never happen. But they still put the plans
What
together.
does that look like? We just walk over?
You just walk over, guys, we're taking over here. Throw us the keys to
Okay, that sounds good, you know?
All right.
That's okay. So you guys want a beer, eh? You guys like hockey?
We're taking over the Capitol. We need a big truck of poutine brought in.
You know,
Oh, yes,
we
sir.
have football here too, eh? And it's 3 downs. We only have 3 downs, eh?
Yeah. And if you punt into the end zone, it's a point.
Yeah, okay, so they made a huge announcement last week. I was watching. I don't know why I got onto this.
Yeah.
They're shortening the end zone. They're moving the goalpost back,
Yeah.
but they're still keeping the whatever the heck it's called, where if you fair catch it, it's a point. If you miss a field goal, the guy catches it, they get a point. It's just so bizarre. They make it up as they go. Crumble cookie.
Ooh, yes, sir.
6 cookies for $20. I remember too when the glazed donuts coming out of warm in the Krispy Kreme, they're coming out warm. They were $6.99 a dozen. Now they're $300 for a kilo.
When I used to live in East Nashville years ago, there was I guess it was basically considered a production depot.
Yeah.
Just up the street from me, and when you woke up in the morning, you could smell donuts all through the neighborhood.
Oh,
it was
God.
awesome.
That had to be so nice. When I went over to England and first real team that brought me over to play, they trained because our stadium was being renovated or whatever. And it was back in the day. These guys have everything. I watch these guys play and I'm like, man, even in the lower divisions, they have stuff that we never even dreamed of. We had to practice at the Cadbury chocolate factory. And it was weird because it looked like Willy Wonka kind of thing, but you drive, it's all brick and everything. And it was just, the smell was amazing. You're like, oh, goodness me. That was awesome. I love that stuff. I love that. Now what do we have? Urine. Smell of urine. Sadness. $6.99 to $19. Some guy just said $19.12 was what $19.17 for the dozen this morning.
Man.
That feels very expensive.
Has sugar tariffs hit yet? Because we could be in trouble.
Yeah. Well, the bananas, the tariffs there, right? Coffee's gone way up
Yeah.
because of Brazil. So
Brazil.
They've got a couple cartels as well, but nothing is.
They don't have enough oil, though.
They don't. Yeah, we only care if you have oil.
They've got some cartels, no oil, but a lot of hot chicks.
They do. Girl from Ipanema. Argentina as well. Oh, Argentina. By the way, if you guys have a chance to go see Brazil play in the World Cup, you guys should just go. Just for the looking around.
Or
Oh,
if
yeah?
you have a chance to go see Kansas City play in Brazil, you should go.
If you have a chance, you're like, wow, that girl's wearing a schmedium shirt.
They got pedal taverns over there.
Yeah, probably on the beach.
All right, I'm in.
You're in indeed.
They just call it drinking and driving down there, though.
They do. Girl from Ipanema, huh? Nice to meet you. Hey, good times. I like you. She's been my friend. All right, coming up. Little finally Friday. We'll talk more about the battle of the cartels. Boy, this is going to be. We're taking on the big people in the Caribbean. It's going to be fun, eh? What do you think of that right there? Coming to get ya. Talk a little bit about that. Maybe we'll do 90 seconds on the shutdown. I can't believe they're still shut down. Oh, heavens. If you're missing the show, grab the podcast, Jeff. So Sean Combs' kids were sobbing in court, realizing they're not going to be able to hang out with their dad. They were probably excited, getting ready for a party. What did you say earlier? He'd already booked a...
He's already been booking stuff to do, like, speaking engagements and stuff like that before he's sentencing, like he was going to be getting out.
What a maroon.
What he's got prosecuted for was, and look, he did it, but that being said, it's probably not worth the 6 years, 8 years, 10 years, whatever he ends up getting. I think the prosecution's recommended 11, and then the judge says he's going to stay within the guidelines. So I don't know what the other part of it is, but I'm assuming it's 5 to 11 years. So let's say he gets 8. Is it worth 8? No, probably not. He wouldn't have been prosecuted at all if it wasn't for the other stuff that they failed on, the stuff that would have put him away for life.
He'll get credit for time served, and then with good behavior, he'll get out in, 3, 4?
Yeah, probably. So, yeah, because how long has he been? A year and a half?
No, it's been like 13 months.
Okay, so 13 months. So if he got 8, he'd probably have to serve, 5? So
Something like that.
Yeah, so he's probably got about 3.5, 4 years left. And it's the only person I think they said in the last 7 years or decade that got actually prosecuted from this was an actual pimp. That's it. So.
What do you think the P in P Diddy stands for?
Oh, Pimp Daddy. Look at that. I didn't even think about that. My goodness me. 1241. Epstein stuff was probably in the apartment building that blew up in New York the other day. Maybe. Somewhere. We'll find out what it is. So, it's funny because when I bring up the whole cartel thing, everybody gets all, well, we should be doing something. If we're serious about it, it's the ones down south. That's it. Colombia moves a lot of cocaine. A lot of, like Brazil, the stuff that they move, and it is all towards Europe and West Africa. So let's be real. We want regime change because it does a few things. First of all, it weakens the likes of Iran in some senses, people think. China, right? The whole, the BRICS people, that group of people, it weakens them and takes away a massive, huge part of oil that's cheap for a lot of rogue nations. But we also have tons of, companies that, when Hugo Chavez came in, what did he do? He just took everything. So, you had all of these companies, ConocoPhillips and Hess and all of them. They just took all that stuff. They went to court of arbitration, but it doesn't matter. They were never going to get anything. So they still have their stuff, and they'd like it back. And then you've got all this new oil that they found, and they want to keep it. There's no fentanyl coming from there's virtually none coming from anywhere in South America. It goes from China to Mexico to here, sometimes through Canada. Just a small amount. But it's about, you got a lot of donors and, drill. Trump said he wanted to drill. He never said where he wanted to drill. He wasn't specific in that. So I don't want to get any more wars, and I don't want to be part of a regime change. I don't.
And the man built his reputation partially on being anti-war.
Yes, anti-war. This is not anti-war. We've bombed Iran, and that's, we've moved a bunch of ships over there too, by the way. So be prepared because already Israel's starting to say, oh, Iran's getting back at it. So he has unleashed hell in Somalia. He's already broken his record. And now you've got this situation where this is regime change and this is a lot. Marco wants it. A lot of the people in, Florida, especially Cuban expats and Venezuelan expats, they want it because a lot of them have been there since Hugo Chavez. So, but we're not good at regime change. We have never been good at it. I mean, let's just go back a decade and find out how we did in Iraq. We haven't done well. So, but if you're going to tell me we're doing this because that somehow Trendy is some sort of big, they didn't really classify them much as a cartel. They call them a mega gang. And they have big dealings in Peru. Should we attack Peru next?
I do have it on the best of authority, though, that Venezuela has weapons of mass destruction.
That'd probably be a good idea.
Aren't they buddies with China?
Yeah. See, anything
they
we
might
could
have something to do with it.
Well, of course. Well, and oil. I mean, the fossil fuel industry would love to get back some of their stuff and to get a crack at all of that oil.
And keep it from China.
Keeping it from China is not bad. I mean, that's a good deal. But at the same time, if you keep it from China, that ramps up the money for the likes of Iran and, and
Russia.
Russia. So I thought we were going to be doing these kind of things. I thought that was the whole point. And Maduro, I mean, he's lost, what have they lost, a third of their population, something like that? Could you imagine that? If 100 million people just left?
And most of their zoo animals.
That's right, most of their zoo animals. Well, they didn't lose them.
They ate them.
They ate them. God. That's tough. I mean, that's a tough thing right there. Think about the fact that you're going to go, when you say we're going grocery shopping, oh, you meant the zoo.
Yeah.
That's a little uncomfortable right there. The zoo. So, let's see here. No. Got a lot of people texting in about this. Venezuela needs managed democracy. Well, let them manage their democracy. I don't want a regime change to be a part of it. And the problem was why Venezuela fell apart when Hugo Chavez, first of all, socialism doesn't work. They were booming. The problem was it got to the point where the wealthy, how like you hear Bernie go, they own X amount of percentage of everything here, blah, 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 blah. It was like 99% of the wealth and money were concentrated with the wealth of a few people there. And then it flipped. People got sick and tired of it. And Hugo swept the power, and he did what he said. I'm going to come in, I'm going to nationalize everything, I'm going to take everything over. And what happened? Everybody said it's going to go to hell. But he didn't care because he was fed. Because the people that love that kind of politics, they never want to live in it. They want to live above it. And all you have to do, I remember watching videos of Hugo Chavez. He would walk in with the army into like a Best Buy type place, and he would tell everybody, all of this stuff is free. And then the people would come in and take it. And then they would go out of business, and he'd be like, where'd it go? Well, it's not going to win. It's not. That's not, and that's why they fell apart. And then it's been that way ever since. And corrupt thing. And you could easily make a argument for, I've read some of the charges against Maduro. There's no doubt that he is consorted-ish with some of the cartel of the Suns and stuff like that, but not really anything to the thing where we need to worry about, because we're worried about fentanyl. That's our jam here in America. We like fentanyl. We have cocaine, fentanyl, and weed. And they've had trouble with weed because, Mexico, because a lot of the big states, they made it legal. So then they got into human trafficking, and that was a boom. And then Trump came in and said, well, we're done with that. So it's back to the other stuff. And that other stuff is cocaine and fentanyl. And that doesn't come from there. It doesn't. So, and my thing is, if we're going to get serious about it, well, you've got Sinaloa, you got Jalisco New Generation, you got what's left of Los Zetas, which isn't much anymore, and you got the Gulf cartels. Focus on them. We'll ask the CIA if it's okay if you go after some of them, because that's always been a big thing, because apparently the CIA and the Sinaloa cartel had a little friendly relationship, as we have with a lot of nations and their cartels.
You got to play ball with undesirable players.
Yeah, I mean, you could go look at some of the, if you go look at stuff that's all been declassified, the amount of times that we have worked with, revolutionaries, that movie American Made with Tom Cruise, that's all about There's the Medellin cartel. We're going to get some guns. We're going to give them over here. You can move your cocaine around. We don't care. Because the friend of, the enemy of my enemy and my enemy doesn't matter. They're paying well, and if we can get them to kill each other, that'd be great. Which is kind of always that's always like a lot of South America's what we wanted to do, was to get and destabilize certain parts of the globe, especially through South America. And it didn't always go the way we wanted it to go. It didn't. So what is regime change? Whoever we decide should be the new president of Venezuela. That will be friendly to the West. That's the big thing. You got to be friendly to the West. That's the number one thing.
Who was the Panamanian dictator that we were all chummy with until we decided not to be?
Was it Noriega?
Was it Noriega?
Yeah. No, Noriega was, he's Nicaragua, right? So
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we've been chummy with a lot of people, and then we weren't chummy. Because you don't know what it looks like once they get in there and how much they're going to like the West. They'll say anything to get in there and take over their nations. And so that's the other side of it. That's why I said regime change in a lot of these times. We go back and look, we have struggled at it. We're really good at the first part. We have regime changed the hell out of a lot of places. It's the sticking the landing that we have a trouble with. We're still waiting to find out what happens with Diddy. When did they say they had to be back?
2:15 East Coast.
2:15 East Coast. That'd be 1:15. They were there all day. He had a video. He wrote a bunch of letters. Do you think he performed in the video? He's like, every breath I take.
Apparently, he's got like 30 family members in the courtroom.
Yeah, they said his kids were bawling because I think they realized, they're not seeing Dad at home tonight. They can cancel that party. They probably had a big, hey, Dad's coming home tonight party.
They had a freak off planned.
Get the baby oil. Dad's coming home. It's not very nice, Chad. It isn't. We'll talk a little bit about coming up. From what I understand, the government is not working. Did you guys just find this out?
What are you talking about?
Apparently, there's some sort of struggle that they're having. They can't come together, and they're not working. So I guess the government's closed.
They haven't worked for a long time. They're just now not showing up.
Oh, they're not showing up to work.
Man, I sure do hope that members of Congress are okay through all this.
I do too. Hope they saved. Hope they saved some money. Do you think they did?
I hope they did for their sake.
Whew, it's tough. It's tough when you work that hard sometimes during the week, fly around, do some interviews. Man, you're right, guys. I think we should do a GoFundMe. That would be good for them. Help them out. A Go F Me. Should call that one. We'll talk a little bit about, yes, kids, I called it today a lockout because I feel like that's what it is. It's they locked each other out. So, and now we're starting to get some polls. You know, this group says it's the Democrats. This group says it's the Republicans. Is it a Thundoggle or is it a Schumer shutdown? Is it a Hakeem halt? I don't know. We'll have to find that out. Among other things, straight ahead, Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, Senate's not going to pass it because you need 60 votes in the Senate. And you're not going to get 60 votes. Not right now. Now, if the polling says come Monday that one group is... So if the Democrats are really getting blamed for this, come Monday, that polling will be bad for the Republicans. They'll come up with something that will work and get done. That's if it's bad for the Republicans. If Monday the polling starts to go really bad for the Democrats, then they'll scramble around and try to cut some sort of deal that'll give the Republicans a vast majority of what it is they want. And then that'll be that. That's how this is getting done.
Yeah. So when do federal workers get paid? Is it like the 1st and 15th like we are? Or do they just is it just once a month? You know, I think they get paid the 1st and 15th, although some probably get paid once a month. So after the last check stops, after the check stops coming, that's when it's going to get serious. Yes. Yeah.
once you go through that first, like you may be able to survive a little bit, but once you go through that next, where you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, if you've got the media out there covering federal workers who are standing in line at food banks and things like that, which, I'm being serious here. God forbid, I don't want that to happen to them.
No, nobody does.
But it did the last time. And once that starts happening, that's when it starts lighting a fire under what.
Yes,
They
exactly.
get paid bi-weekly, so they get 26 pay periods.
26 pay periods. So you may be able to go one, but once you get through that first week where, you got paid or you normally get paid, and then you get through that next weekend, all of a sudden that stuff's dried up. Oh, that's when they're going to feel it. And that's why, both sides are reaching out to all the lobbyists they can to try to put, all the pressure on the Congress people, the Senate right now. And Trump is, I think he's going to sit back and see how this thing works itself out. It isn't until realistically, and it sounds horrible that this is the way our government works. It isn't until one of them are really in a position where the blame is going to hurt them that they're going to really make a move.
Yeah, some of this polling, that we've been talking about, the one that I looked at showed that it was the independents who are putting the same amount of blame on both sides.
Yes, and that's the most important people.
Yes.
Because they're the ones who get everybody across the line when it comes to voting.
Yeah, right now they're put out with both sides.
Yeah, which is understandable. I mean, I look and I think no matter what you think about the bill, good, bad, indifferent, the reality is it's only a continuing resolution, which is not what this was supposed to be. This is supposed to be your budget. That's supposed to last you a year, that you're supposed to have done. And you're still kicking the can down the road from the last budget. So we should all be frustrated. But the polling, and again, they have polling that they'll look at, the Quinnipiacs, this, that, and the other. They want to see what their actual polling is, a non-bias. They all have people that are going to go out and do non-biased polling where they're not going to poll. And how polls work is how the question asked matters more than anything else.
Yes, sir.
So they are going to have people that are going to go out and do blind polling in person. That's going to change a lot of this, but that's not going to happen probably till this weekend. And then we'll see. All right, coming up, hour number 2 of the program. Talk a little bit about media. The trust is gone in the media, according to the latest poll. Talk a little bit about that. Got a bunch of other stuff. We're still waiting for Diddy. How long will he get? We'll find out soon. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.